So here's hoping everything is working the way it should. Let's see. First things first, let's take a listen at what we're dealing with. What we're dealing with is a song that I don't believe is mixed correctly. It's an old song of mine, and I feel like it could be way better. So what we're going to do is we're going to look through everything, see what we could have done, what I could have done to make it better. And what we're going to do to start is we're just going to quickly listen to the track and see what is what. Turn my headphones up a bit. Because straight off the bat, what I am thinking is that the guitar, the acoustic guitar sounds nice and visceral, if we can call it that. Here, why is nothing playing? Interesting. So immediately I'm actually liking the actual sound. So I think the stereo EQing is not really necessary. If we listen to each side, so we can just listen to the right side. Just the left. It sounds nice. The space even sounds nice. I'm in the space. I think I recorded this. The room was a lot emptier. It's a wooden room though, wooden floors and things together. So it seems like another one of those situations where I've just done too much. Let's just deal with the compression. Okay. So, best thing to always do, and I know I started with the guitar, but in my opinion, the best thing to do is to start with the drums. So I'm going to go straight for the chorus, for the main part of the song. Sounding good. Okay. So again, we have some stereo EQing. Saturator is off currently. Okay. Now what we're going to do, now that we have that, which I'm a little bit happy with, let's try this bass out for size. Okay. It's very aggressive. And I want a constant floor or constant peak, so it's always boop, boop, boop. I think I'm also going to put this off. Okay, so you can see that I cannot move this gain because this is set to that EQ trigger, dynamic EQ. See that. So I'm going to peg that. Hello, my boy. Wait, no. No, no, no. You want to play drums? But wait, no. First go say hello to mommy. Go say hello, mommy. Yeah? And then you come back. Go, 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 quickly. Go. Hello, mommy, and then we can play drums, okay?
No, what? No.
Go say hello, mommy.
No, no.
You don't want to go say hello, mommy?
No, I don't know that.
You can play drums.
I don't
Okay,
know.
let's take a break.
So, school.
There we go. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. So there is something that I think I should have mentioned from the beginning. Let's go to a spot in the drums. Firstly, let's roll these open a bit. Just want to have a look at the drums. And especially this. Now, everything should be in phase, but we should always check. And the only way we're going to have to be able to do this is if, for the most part, we take all the drum tracks and there. And we're gonna have to undo that later. But we're gonna do that. We're gonna provide us with some space to work. All right. So let's see where we have the most activity. Here we have some good kick happening. That's actually a sum overhead. And we're also getting a lot of stuff here, and there's a lot of information there. So I would take this region here. So we're going to zoom out, or in, sorry. Zoom in. And we're going to see that our crashes and our overhead is a little bit out of touch. See that there, right? That and that is not lining up. If we go up, we can see that and that is not lining up. There's our kick. So let's take that kick signal and make that our strong. So we can see that this over here, this wave, that is like 1 off. So we're just going to simply shift that over 1. Yeah? That's all we're going to do for now. Here, let's have a look at this deep here. Okay. Let's not just move things around willy-nilly. We're just going to try and mitigate as much as we can. You can see there's the start, and we can see that that's probably the start there. So from here, which is, let's see, that there, and that goes down. Let's see, we went too far. Would be. So we're going to pull this back another little bit. And again, okay, so we do our best to get it there. Let's see if we were to look at a snare, how we're doing here. Slightest of nudges over. Let's move that. Okay, that, there, that looks like that. No. Okay. Let's see what's going on down here. Let's make these small. See, that little spike there is very easily identifiable. And we're going to move that over to there. And we're going to double check again. We look like we're fine. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back here again to these toms. And maybe we can look at these other toms here also. Maybe that seems like a good place there to zoom in on. So look at this. That stands out for me. We didn't touch this one before. So that peak there. Nope. Okay. Just the best we can. Yeah. Okay. Now, a lot of people probably want these drums to be like super loud. What I'm doing is obviously makeup gain is for exactly that. You're supposed to make up the gain that you are taking away, supposed to. But what we can do is we can take this drum track and our percussion and we can group them all. And we can I think those toms that sounded very nice. Can maybe bring them up a little bit. Where are they? H. And that will bring this all together for me. We were hearing those toms there. It's nice. And so now if we did want like a little bit more visceralness out of this arrangement here, we could around just 3.3 to 4.1 around there. Can really bring that forward. Is it necessary? Maybe it's not. Guess we'll know in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so that guitar that we were messing around with in the beginning, oh, we forgot about this guy. Oh, we'll just take this whole thing. See that guitar? Now we're going to have drums, bass, that clapping and tambourine and shaker, and this guitar. Yeah, this guitar, So if we were to do left-right EQing, because we have these two microphones here, that's centered, and we hear there's quite a lot on the one side. So what I can first do is I can EQ it to where I want it, balance the way I want it. Ooh, nice and bright, but not too bright, in my opinion. Okay, so we have that there. Now I'm not going to go any further. Oh, wait. Here is some. Okay, that's not really a percussive guitar, if I can say that. It's melodic. So this guitar over here, that sounds like a rhythm section guitar, along with the bass. That's playing pretty much the same thing, so I will deal with them in that manner. In actual fact, if I wanted to, I could take that guitar and I could pop that guitar in the same group, and now it should be processed by the same compressor that I added to the entire, let's call this, rhythm section. And that's all kind of bumping together. There's something I want to do. So just before this, I want this frequency here for a little bit more thud to hit that compressor a little bit more. Okay, yeah. A little bit more cleaner, just a little bit here, a little bit there. All right, so melody, vocals. I really couldn't give a damn. Okay, so they're really, really soft right now. And so what we're going to do is bring them up. Let's just simply turn the volume up. I really couldn't give a damn. Okay, so we can see a lot is being taken out here by some very broad shelf. Might be unnecessarily so, I don't know what it is. I really couldn't give a damn. Already better. I really couldn't give a damn. I really couldn't give a damn. You speak of progress while you worship old
oh nonsense.
So there's a little bit of boxiness here.
You speak of progress. You speak of progress.
So a lot of people would be jumping. You see this at the bottom here. A lot of people would be jumping to go, cut that off. Cut it off.
You speak of progress.
And my question is, what is it getting in the way of? Oh, I could go and re-record that because I recorded this a long time ago. I didn't have the soundproofing I do now and all those things. But at the same time, I think I would preferably...
You speak of progress.
just shelving it a little bit. I could also add a little bit of, a little bit of gating to get rid of that, I don't know, was it my computer or my laptop or something?
You speak of progress.
And we can see that it's cutting it off a little bit, so I'm just going to give a really, really wide look ahead, and I want it to be natural, so I'll go like 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
You speak of progress.
You can see it's behaving nice and slowly, and it's coming in, not
While you worship oh nonsense.
not too late. Okay, so that's that, and it's sounding okay. There's a little bit of going on, and there is a DS here, but
Speak of progress.
that is okay. I like it. I'm okay with it.
Speak of progress. While you worship oh nonsense. You're so in control while you sell, yeah, you sell, yeah, you sell your soul.
Okay, this is too soft here. And I don't know what this automation is about here. It seems unnecessary and something that I should be able to control either through re-recording or in another way. So let's see. Let's just do away with it. Boop.
You speak of progress while you worship oh nonsense. You're so in control while you sell, yeah, you sell, yeah, you sell your soul.
Okay. This is where I'm going to start adding a little bit of craziness. And I'm going to build it from scratch so you can see what I'm doing. I drop in a utility, and I'm going to group it off. I'm going to add another chain where I'm going to drop in another utility. And this utility is stereo, super wide, and it's flipped. I'm going to drop in another. Again, same thing, not flipping it. Still stereo and super wide. And I'm going to do -6, -6, -6, and that is let's just call it widen for now.
Country in the West England. Country in the West England. Country in the West England. For your people, so fat they fed. I really couldn't give a damn. I really couldn't give a damn. I really couldn't give a damn. Country in the West England. For your people, so fat they fed. I really couldn't give a damn.
Okay, so there's a lot of mud here.
Country in the West England, West England.
That is so heavy. Let's actually just reset all of this.
West England.
Okay, so there's quite a lot of saturation on there. I don't know why I would have recorded that like that, or is it?
West England.
Yes, it is.
West England.
Okay, so we can't have that here. Or, because it is loud, and I'm wanting to turn it down.
West England. West England.
And that is 20 to 60. So, this guy over here, let me just reset that. Reset that, and this we're gonna make 260. Oopie, 260.
West England.
Now we can control how much
West England.
saturation we're putting there.
West England.
We can also pull down on the
West England.
also here. That's looking
West England. West England. West England.
I think I'm actually going to apply compression to each one of these.
West England.
Like this one.
West England. West England. So fat they West England.
I think I'm going to do the same thing here.
So fat they fed. Huh.
This is a funny voice.
West England.
This one there.
West England.
This is also quite loud.
West England. West England.
I call that Uncle Dave after Dave Chappelle.
West England.
Okay, and I think I also want to.
West England.
Maybe not so much.
So fat they fell.
Together we have.
West England. So fat they fell.
What's going on there? Let's just delete this entire part.
So fat they fell.
Add a fade. Oh,
So fat they fell.
okay. I think what I'm going to do.
So fat they fell.
Is all together here.
So fat they fell. Ha! I really couldn't give it down. So fat they fell. So fat they fell. Ha! I really couldn't give it down.
we need to deal with this guitars here, but I'm not happy with the muffly sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to take this back a bit.
For your country in the way it's been led, for your people so fat they fed. I really couldn't give a damn.
What happened there?
I was born in no regime, wanted me dead for being mixed breed. From the sins we were bred, years I walked, lightly tread. Now you tell me that you're scared for your country in the way it's been led, for your people so fat they fed. I really couldn't give a damn.
It's a little bit of boxiness. I kind of like that. We're also creating space in everything else. A lot of people take out so much here, but then they don't use that space for something. And a piano is, you know, when you put a microphone in a piano, most of the time you are going to get this boxy sound, which a lot of people take out, yes, but this isn't a real piano in a sense. I could do that, make it nice and clean. This song's got like a lot of, let's just say, like Delta blues, western, country western kind of a sound to it. Let's call it that. So I want to try my best to design the instruments in a way so as a side note, I forgot something, and what I've got was, let me just switch all these things here back to the headphones, which means you should be able to hear stuff. And now I'm also going through my in-ear monitors to do a little bit more finer things. So something I forgot to mention is that one of these utility tracks, one is stereo and flipped and wide, another one is mono, and the other one is swapped left and right and is not flipped and wide. So one is swapping, one is mono, and one is stereo flipped wide, right? So when it comes down to certain things, like I'm actually not going to apply this entirely to the whole drums. I'm going to push it only to the overheads. And now what we should have, so let's go again. And maybe here's an overhead sum. Let me just see this a bit. It's actually not bad. Everything's nice and wider. This one was also. The bass, I think I actually want to push the bass just a little bit because I was listening to it and it sounds like it's a little bit stuck in the back. These are the guitars, the single guitar. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this and cut a little bit more off the top because it's quite bright. Now that's kind of acting like a bit of a shelf, actually. That whoopee, 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 whoopee. There we go. Okay, and here we have this wide guitar over here. You speak of and I've also checked out the different frequency ranges.
I really couldn't give a damn. Beam expressed from this sense we were bred. Years I walked, lightly tread. Now you tell me that you're scared for your country and the way it's being led. For your people, so fat they fed. I don't really give a damn. I don't really give a damn. I don't really give a damn. I was born in a regime. One of me dead, or beam expressed from this sense we were bred. Years I walked, lightly tread. Now you tell me I was born in a regime. One of me dead, or beam expressed from this sense we were bred. Years I walked, lightly tread. Now you tell me that you're scared for your country and the way it's being led.
Yeah, that's that. Let's leave it at that. Hope you like the full video.